So djama is the first song I ever finished for Orchestra Gold. It's a beautiful Malian folkloric tune about the simple joy of just being with your community, with your people. And the guitar riff is like, what if Tom Morello from Rage Against the Machine met Ali Farkature? Hey folks, Eric from Orchestra Gold here, and this is the Gold Transmission. Today we're going inside djama. So bands don't just exist in vacuums. We represent values. And one of our values is that of belonging. And today I want to talk about something called colorblindness, which is this notion that it's possible for us to not see race. As a band, we are a mixture of people, cultures, identities. And a value for us is creating spaces where all of those identities can show up fully in ways that matter. And that's not always easy because we live in a system that has been designed and carefully calculated to divide us. And one of the trickiest tools that it uses is the illusion of colorblindness. So I grew up in Riverside in the 90s, child of the 90s. And the explicit messaging that I was given was that race shouldn't matter. You know, we all bleed the same. We shouldn't see color. And I've come to see now that it was a kind of denial. It was a kind of way of pretending that we all get treated equally when the truth is we don't. Race matters because racism actually exists. And pretending not to see it doesn't make it go away. When I was younger, I would have said that I didn't see it. And being a little bit older now, I've come to see that I did carry anti-blackness, anti-brownness, not because I wanted to, not because I was an evil person, but because I was just raised in a society that taught me to see black and brown people as less than, and to see myself as a light-skinned person somehow as more valuable. And I think that lie lives pretty deep. And the colorblind narrative actually helps to hide it. We're all valuable inherently, not because of the status we have or the achievements that we've done, but because we exist. We all carry the divine. And so now I have to ask myself, where does that colorblind story still live in me? And where am I using it to avoid seeing how policies that claim to be neutral actually harm black and brown folks the most? And the even harder question is, where does pretending not to see race give cover to my own belief that I am somehow superior? Because race isn't the only lens. I've had to unlearn some of the classism I was raised with, the materialism, the patriarchy, all kinds of programming. And I've come to understand that if we want to build a world where everyone feels safe and like they belong, these are things we have to face directly. And this next song is called djama. So the song we're going to talk about again today is djama, and it's about the beauty of what happens when we come together and what happens when we're able to actually access true joy in community together. I was listening back to djama for this episode, and it had been many years since I'd listened to the demo, just because that work happened to what feels like another person. And I came to see again that this song truly is dear to my heart. This is the song that I ever finished for Orchestra Gold. And it's kind of like the blueprint, really. It exemplifies what the band is and was at the beginning. On the one hand, djama is this beautiful slice of Malian folklore associated with a beloved figure known as Karamoko Keita, called Karasho, very affectionately by Malians. And it's a song about the power of people coming together in community and not forgetting to have a good time while we're here on this planet. And there's that guitar riff. So that guitar line in djama is what happens when Malian folklore meets Bulls on Parade by Rage Against the Machine. If you grew up in the 90s, you know what I'm talking about. So I grew up really influenced by 90s guitar rock, Tom Morello, also Dave Navarro from the Red Hot Chili Peppers and Jane's Addiction. I'm a little embarrassed to admit it. Patrick, our sax player, gives me guff about this all the time, but I also loved Pantera, hard rock, heavy metal. That was a real part of my musical upbringing. And for djama, it's kind of like the meeting of those worlds. So the way that the way that the wah pedal holds the tempo while the notes land on those upbeats, it's just this perfect middle ground between those two worlds. It has this inherent groove, and it feels to me like I'm playing a strange djembe accompaniment pattern on guitar. So here's how the song came together. Mariama and I worked on it in Segu before she came to the US. We worked on it together. This is another one of those ones, if you recall back to some of the other stories of that moment, I had the wrong key for her vocal register. So I had this entire arrangement made out like laboriously in the wrong key. And I didn't have time to redo it. So we just had to do scratch tracks on the acoustic guitar. And I rebuilt the drum pattern, and she just sang the song to that scratch guitar pattern. But this was the first Orchestra Gold song that we completed together. And it's special because this song became the blueprint for really everything that came after it. So djama means people in Bamana, and this song is a celebration. The opening line kind of sets the whole tone. Djama ainat lonke. People come out and have a good time, come and play. Don't forget to have a good time while you're here. And then it goes through this beautiful roll call. He calls out the trustworthy. He says, oh, to the trustworthy, we greet you. To the honest people, we greet you. To my mother, I greet you, and I praise your upright speech. To the elders and their wisdom. To the artists, I respect your truthfulness. To the farmers, I respect your work and the hard work that you put into growing your crops. Everyone's kind of celebrated for what they bring to the table. It's a very simple song, actually, but it's very powerful. And it's a reminder of what we can do together with people you love and doing things really together that make life worth living. Okay, I'm going to play you a couple of iterations of the demo. The first one is the earliest version. This is when I was going full malian on the guitar approach. And later I made it grimier, but this is where it all kind of started. Check it out. So that is the first iteration of the guitar pattern for djama. Now I'm going to play you just the iconic, for me at least, if no one else, guitar part from another iteration of this demo. And this demo is special to me also because I played it so much. I played it for like everyone when I was telling them about the project, because it had really been like a lifelong dream for me to do a band. And it's obviously a demo with a drum machine loop, and it's not perfect, but I'm genuinely happy with how it sounds. I think it conveys the spirit of the band in a way that holds up, even when I listen to it right now. So I'm going to play you now what the guitar part evolved into. Check it out. So dirty. Oh my gosh. There's this effect inside of Reason that I use called the Scream, and it has this setting that I just love, and it's like a tape distortion, and I used to put that on the master bus of every single track just because I loved the sound of it and I loved the griminess of it. And I remember when I was showing Luke the demos, Luke, the first bass player, he was like, really? You put that on everything? Because it's like totally a thing that you're not supposed to do at all for anybody who works on music. It's just way too intense for most people. And listening back, it's a little bit intense. There are times when it didn't work, but I still love it. Okay, now I'm going to play you the second iteration of the djama demo. Here it goes. Okay, so that was the djama demo. Now for that ending riff. So that is based on the danso music. They are hunter magicians of Mali. Donso music is pentatonic. It's very heavy. It reminds me a lot of hard rock. And it was a real natural fit at the end of this song. The drum pattern in that section is based on a Malian rhythm called sunu. By the way, there's an instrumental ending. I just left that part pretty blank at the end, but I've been working on an instrumental ending for djama that I think is going to be featured on our next record, where we build out that part a little bit. Okay, now, next thing we're going to listen to is the full album version. This was recorded at Coyote Hearing with our first bass player, Luke Bace, engineering the session. And this is a funny story because Luke ran those sessions while he was playing bass for the recording. And so he was doing both simultaneously. He would click record, go grab his bass really quickly, play his parts, and then stop it. He was like in two places at once the entire session. It was really amazing. The recording itself never came out as thick as I wanted. You heard that demo. That's just really thick and so much mid-range. But for me, this one really does sound like a record from the 60s or 70s, and that has its own unique charm. I think we did really well with what we had. A couple of things to listen for. The full percussion section that you don't hear, it's basically like when we first started the recording, the band had... Okay, so there's some stuff that got left along the way. When we were first recorded this, the band had 7 people in it. We had 2 horns, we had Leila on congas, we had David on the kerenye, which is... Kerenye is like a metal güiro that they play in Mali. So it was basically like a wall of percussion. And then after the pandemic, the band just never got back to that size because of logistics, touring, economics. I miss it, honestly. That driving percussion section is just really special. And you can hear it on this recording. That conga solo in the middle, that's Leila actually playing the main djembe line from Ingri, which is a widely played Malian rhythm. Okay, and just real quick, I want to take a moment to shout out Luke Bace properly. Luke was our first bass player, a fabulous musician, real knack for production and engineering. He left the band around 2019, and he's been working in the studio full-time since then. He's still in orbit with us. He engineered the Dakan sessions and the overdub sessions. He did a tremendous job. He has near perfect pitch, great ears, really easy to work with, and he gives wonderful feedback too. If you're looking for an engineer, I recommend him 111%. Luke Bace. He's just a great human being. Go Luke. Okay, without further ado, here is the studio version of djama.
Santa Ola Sheri
Okay, that's it for this one. This is Eric Huffaker from Orchestra Gold, and this is the Gold Transmission. If you want to go deeper, the vault is where we keep the good stuff. You get access to these episodes first before anyone else and ad-free. Plus, we got demos, unreleased recordings, behind-the-scenes music, and more. It's our version of Patreon. It's a pay-what-you-want subscription model. You can get in for as little as $4 a month. And in this day and age, it's a pretty darn good thing to be supporting is musicians. Find it at orchestragold.com/vault. And by the way, we really do like hearing from you. Just don't expect us to respond within 24 hours. But what you liked, tell us. What you didn't like, tell us. What you want more of, tell us. You can get a hold of us at orchestragold@gmail.com. Okay, that's it. See you on the next one, folks. Peace and love.